I started talking and my mic wasn't on. I would have gone through the entire video and there would have been no sound. Only me. So hey my loves, I am here today to talk to you guys about some of my favorite brushes, and I've never done a video like this before just because, I don't know, I just didn't. But these are brushes that I use on a pretty much daily basis, or whenever I actually do get around to wearing makeup, and they're all right here. And I'm just gonna warn you, they look terrible here, but in the close-up shots I'm gonna show you the ones where they're nice and clean, but I'm an idiot and I washed my brushes first. And I was like, yes, all ready to go. And then I was like, wait, I have to put on makeup. It happens. So anyway, lots of different brushes here, and I have collected these over the past 2 years, 2-3 years or so. I guess we'll start with face brushes, because I don't know where else to start. For brushes for foundation, I don't typically use a brush for foundation, but when I do, the one that I've been using lately is the Sigma Angled Top Kabuki Brush, Sigma Angled Top Kabuki Brush F84. This one's a really good one. It's very dense, which is really good. I love the angle, which makes it very easy to get into those little nooks and crannies where you need to apply the foundation, and you're not going to get streakiness or anything, which is really good, which is what I love about kabuki brushes in general, is they don't feel as streaky or like as flimsy. Like I find like a lot of other brushes, they are really flimsy feeling, whereas this one is not. And then for my face powder, I use another different type of kabuki brush, and this is by Bhumi, B-H-U-M-I. And this is their Genius Face brush. It's really dense. Again, I love the denser feeling brushes. Personally, I don't know, it's not for everyone, but I don't like the really flimsy ones for powder because I just feel like it flicks all the powder everywhere and you don't actually get any on your face, whereas this is nice because it adds a lot of precision when you're applying it, because I really only want to apply powder just to my T-zone area, anywhere that I would get really oily. Otherwise, it's going to settle into fine lines and it's going to make me look chalky or cakey or, you know, terrible things like that. The one that I use for my bronzer is actually a powder brush, and it's by Royal & Langnickel, and it's their Silk Green line, and I love it. It's so soft, which is nice. Very thick, very full, and it's perfect for bronzer for me, just for like all over if I need to blend it down into my neck and everything, and it just picks up the powder really nicely and applies it very evenly. I don't feel like it feels very streaky or anything like that. It's a little bit more flimsy than, say, you know, like my powder brush, which is like a very dense kabuki brush. I actually love all of the brushes in this line. They are really, really good and good quality. They have lasted me a really, really long time, and I love them. For my highlight, and also for when I'm actually contouring, which isn't very often, but when I do, I use this brush. It's also by Bhumi, and it is their Brilliant Blush and Contour Brush. And it is, again, it's supposed to be for blush, but I don't use it for blush. I use it for the contour line, and I also use it to apply highlight just on top of the cheekbones and up along the side of my face. I love how I'm doing this and I have no idea what I'm actually looking at. I hope that I'm not like putting product all over my face. I just realized that. Even for a product like a highlighter, which can sometimes be a little bit tricky to work with if you don't have very good brushes, I don't know, maybe I've just had really bad experience with it, but I find when you have a very bad brush, it's gonna flick, you know, the highlighter all over your face, or you're gonna get it streaky, or it's not gonna show up at all. This brush just works beautifully for the highlight for this, and also for the contour line as well if you want more of a softer look. I know there are brushes out there that are a little bit more contoured, more precise for contouring, but I don't know, I don't like the really, really heavily contoured look for every day. So this works out really well for me. It just gets in underneath the cheekbone. I can apply it under along the jawline as well, and up along the side of my face, and it just blends everything really nicely. For blush, I actually use a tapered brush, and this is by Sedona Lace, and this brush, like I don't know, I have yet to find a blush brush that I love more than this one. I've been using this one for a really, really long time. I love, 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 love this brush. It's so soft. It's got a nice, I don't know why I like the tapered ones so much for blush, but like there's just so many more fibers along the side, and it just applies it beautifully to the skin. I feel like I'm just repeating the same stuff over and over for each of the brushes, but like, this is so soft, it's dense, it washes well. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart. I mean, who wants a brush that's going to fall apart immediately? That's just terrible. Now on to the eyes. Actually, no, I'm going to start with the eyebrows. I have very unruly eyebrows, as I've talked to you guys in a number of other videos. I just spit all over myself. And the one that I like the best, which is a dual-ended one, is by Sedona Lace, and this is the EB17, and it's perfect because it has the really dense brush on one end that's perfect for picking up powder and just filling in any other spots, or, you know, just if you want a fuller brow for a particular day or something like that. That end is really great, and on the other end is the spool brush. It's just really good for brushing out the brows because, again, my brows will just be all over the place if I don't do something to them. And honestly, even if I don't wear any makeup or I wear very minimal makeup, I always make sure I'm using a brush like this because it's just gonna brush everything into place. Sometimes I'll spritz it with like a little bit of hairspray and then spray it in place if I'm not using like my Great Lash clear that I use to kind of keep them in place. For highlighting the inner corners of my eye, I use a Sigma SS219, and this is just a good staple for me. As you can see, it has been through everything. I bought this product maybe 3.5, 4 years ago maybe, and it's lasted me a really long time, as you can tell. And it's just a really good overall brush. If you're looking to get just one brush that's really good for the eyes, this is a great one. I also have another one that I use for contouring the crease as well. For blending, again, I have my Sigma SS224, which is it 224? Yes, it is. It's perfect for blending it out, and I have tried a bunch of different ones, and this one's just a really good, easy staple. Again, bought this years and years ago, and I love this brush. If I want to pack on a lot of color, I will use this dome brush, which is by Sigma again, and this is their SS239. And this is just really good for picking up a lot of pigment and applying it without it like scattering everywhere, and you end up with like green under your eyes or something terrible. And because the bristles are so thick and so dense, you just kind of pat it onto the lids or wherever you're applying the color, and it just picks up and it distributes the product beautifully, and it does a really good job when you just want to add a lot of color or a lot of pigment to your lids. And for under the eyes, I use my Sigma SS226, or no, I lied, 266. It's just a really small angle brush. Again, it just works really well if you're looking for more of a precise line. So usually what I'll end up doing is I'll take like one of my darkest colors and apply it under with this. And then if I want more of a smokier look, I will go back and I will take my SS219 and just kind of blend it and just smoke it out a bit. My hair, ladies and gentlemen, it's looking good. And then for my lips, I don't normally use a lip brush, to be quite honest, unless I'm using a very pigmented red or fuchsia or something like that. But when I do, I really like the Delium tools, and this is number 546. I feel like not enough people know about these brushes. They are fantastic. They have a really great lineup of brushes. They are a little bit more on the expensive side, but in my opinion, they've done a really good job with them. But this brush has been the best one. It's just a square lip brush, and it's just very precise. It's not too wobbly, if that makes any sense. It gives you a good crisp line, which is really important when you're applying a really dark color. And yeah, that's all I need to say about this one. And yeah, that's everything for this video. Those are my favorite brushes, my everyday brushes, the brushes that I gravitate towards the most and on an everyday basis, or at least on the days that I do wear makeup. I just play with these all day. I'm just like sitting here and like petting them. So in the comments below, I want you guys to answer this question and let me know, if you could only have one brush, only one brush, which brush would it be and why? So curious to see what brush you guys would pick if you could only choose one brush. And I hope you guys are having an amazing week, and I will see you all in my next video. Love you girls. Mwah.